used to think family was unbreakable. That no matter what, they'd never turn their back on you when you needed them most. But one night taught me how wrong I was, the night my own sister told security to keep me out of a party I paid $25,000 to fund. That humiliation burned deeper than anything I'd ever felt. And that's exactly why I made sure the world knew what she did. Because if she could erase me publicly, I could return the favor in a way she'd never forget. Growing up, my sister Olivia was the star of the family. She had the charm, the laugh, the looks, the ability to make people fall in love with her at first glance. I was the quiet one, the steady, dependable type. The one who remembered birthdays, helped mom with bills, and kept things running while Olivia floated through life. My parents adored her. I learned early that being reliable didn't make you loved, it made you useful. Still, I didn't hold it against her. That's what I told myself anyway. When she got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Daniel, everyone acted like she'd won the lottery. He came from a wealthy family, well-mannered and polished, the kind of man Mom always hoped we'd marry. From the start, Olivia made it clear she wanted an extravagant engagement party, something to impress Daniel's relatives. She called me one evening, her tone sugary sweet. "Emma, you've always been so good with money. Could you help me out? I need some support for the event." "Support?" I repeated. She sighed dramatically. "Just a little. I'll pay you back. Daniel's parents are covering some parts, but I really want it to be perfect. You know how important first impressions are." I'd been saving for years for a down payment on a house, but against my better judgment, I said yes. It wasn't the first time I'd helped her. Every loan in the past had gone forgotten, but I convinced myself this time would be different. She was starting a new chapter, and I wanted to believe she'd matured. When she sent me the budget, I nearly choked. The venue alone cost $15,000. Decorations, catering, entertainment, another 10. It totaled $25,000. "Liv, that's not helping out. That's funding the entire party," I told her. She laughed. "Oh, come on, you're exaggerating. I'll handle the rest, this just covers the base. Please, Emma. It means so much to me." Her tone dripped with entitlement, but I wired the money anyway. Mom texted me later, saying how proud she was of me for supporting my sister's dream. No one mentioned how much of my savings I'd just handed over. Over the next few weeks, Olivia became harder to reach. I'd message to check if she needed help, and she'd reply with one-word answers or send pictures of floral arrangements with captions like "It's going to be magical." The first real red flag came when I noticed her Instagram posts about the upcoming event. She tagged Daniel, the caterers, her makeup artist, even her dog sitter, but not me. The person bankrolling the entire thing was invisible. I called her. "Hey, I saw the posts. You didn't mention me anywhere." She paused. "Oh, I didn't think it mattered. It's not really something people need to know. I just thought maybe a small mention." "Emma," she interrupted, her tone sharp, "please don't make this about you. It's my engagement, not a charity event." That one stung. But I swallowed it, told myself it wasn't worth fighting over. I'd already invested too much emotionally and financially to pull away now. The morning of the event, I woke up nervous but excited. I'd spent extra on a new emerald green dress, something elegant but understated. This was Olivia's night, after all. Despite everything, I was proud of her. I wanted to see her happy. The venue was breathtaking, a private garden strung with golden lights, a string quartet tuning in the background. Guests arrived in sleek black cars, laughter spilling into the air. I stepped out of my car, holding my emailed invitation on my phone, smiling as I approached the front entrance. A tall man in a black suit stopped me. "Name, please?" "Emma Roberts," I said confidently. He scrolled down his tablet, frowned, and looked at me. "I'm sorry, ma'am. Your name isn't on the list." My smile faltered. "That can't be right. I'm Olivia's sister." He glanced back at another guard. "Let me check." He pressed a button on his earpiece. "I have an Emma Roberts here saying she's family." A few seconds passed. Then I heard it, muffled but unmistakable. "She's not allowed in." I froze. That voice. I'd know it anywhere. Could you repeat that? I asked, my voice trembling. The guard looked uncomfortable. Miss Olivia said you're not permitted to enter. I'm really sorry. I laughed nervously. There must be a mistake. I'm the one who paid for this venue. The second guard shrugged helplessly. We just follow orders, ma'am. Before I could argue, the main doors opened and Olivia stepped out, stunning in her gold gown. Guests turned to look, cameras flashing. She walked toward me, her face painted with a polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. Emma, she said softly, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? I hissed. I'm here to celebrate you, Olivia. Why would you tell security I'm not allowed in? She lowered her voice. Daniel's parents thought it might be better if we kept things simple. They don't really understand our family dynamic. I didn't want any tension tonight. Tension? I repeated. I paid for this entire night. Keep your voice down, she snapped. You're making a scene. I'm making a scene? My words trembled between disbelief and rage. You excluded me from my own event, Olivia. She gave a tight smile. You'll get over it. You always do. Then she turned around and walked back inside. The guards closed the doors behind her. I stood there, shaking, as laughter and music floated out from the party I'd paid for. People whispered as they passed me. My parents avoided eye contact when they arrived minutes later. Mom's eyes darted toward the door, then at me. Emma, please don't make this harder than it is, she whispered before slipping inside. I didn't cry until I got back to my car. The humiliation hit like a wave, each memory of my generosity twisting into regret. I drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. The next morning, anger replaced the pain. Not the kind that fades with time, the kind that burns steady until you decide to do something about it. I opened my laptop and started checking my bank transactions. Almost all of the payments I'd made were still pending: the venue, the catering company, the entertainment deposit. Olivia had asked me to handle it through my account so things would be easier. That meant every single contract was under my name. So I started making calls. The first was to the venue. The manager, a polite man named Greg, picked up. Miss Roberts, how was the event? Event? I said calmly. You mean the one where I, the person who paid for it, was banned at the door? There was a long pause. I'm sorry, what? I explained everything. By the end of the call, his tone had changed from confusion to fury. He told me the final payment hadn't gone through yet and that since I was the contract holder, I had every right to cancel or dispute it. I'll send written notice today, I said, my voice steady. The event violated our agreement. Refund the remaining balance to my account. He agreed. That was step one. Next, I contacted the catering company. They'd already posted pictures online bragging about the night. I informed them payment was being withheld due to a breach of contract. They weren't thrilled but couldn't argue once I sent the signed paperwork with my name. Within 48 hours, my account showed refunds totaling nearly $20,000. That's when I posted the photo, the one Olivia had tagged everyone in but me. I reposted it with a simple caption. When you pay $25,000 for a party you're banned from, you learn who your real family is. It spread faster than I expected. Friends started commenting, cousins texted asking if it was true, and within a day, even Daniel's mother saw it. Olivia called me, her voice trembling with rage. Emma. What the hell did you post? Everyone's talking about it. Oh, so now I'm included? I said coldly. You're ruining my life, she screamed. You ruined your own, I replied. I just showed people what you did. You can't do this to me. I already did. And by the way, the caterers expect $3,000 by Friday. Since you told everyone it was your event, you can handle the bill. The line went dead. I smiled for the first time in days. After that call, the silence was addictive. For once, I didn't chase after her, didn't try to smooth things over. I just watched as everything she'd built on lies started to crack. Within hours, screenshots of my post were circulating in our extended family group chats. My aunt messaged Emma, is this true? Olivia really banned you? I didn't respond. I didn't have to. The truth was doing the talking for me. 2 days later, Mom showed up at my apartment, clutching a half-empty coffee cup and wearing that pinched expression she reserved for family drama. "Emma, you have to fix this," she said the second I opened the door. I crossed my arms. "Fix what? The fact that your favorite daughter humiliated me, or the fact that everyone finally knows it?" "Sweetheart, she made a mistake. You're sisters. You can't let money destroy that bond." I laughed, sharp, bitter. Money didn't destroy it. Her ego did. Mom sighed. "Daniel's family is furious. They're saying the party wasn't paid for, that there are bills piling up." "Good," I cut in. "Maybe they'll see who she really is." Mom's lips thinned. "Do you have any idea what people are saying about our family?" "Yeah," I said quietly. "That maybe, finally, they're realizing I'm not the problem." She left without another word. The guilt tried to creep in, but I pushed it away. For years, I'd been the background character in Olivia's story. Now she was learning what it felt like to have her image shattered in public. That evening, I got a text from Daniel. "Can we talk?" Curiosity won. We met at a small cafe downtown. He looked exhausted, his perfect boyfriend aura dimmed. "I didn't know she did that to you," he began. "She told me you didn't want to come, that you had a work emergency." "Does that sound like me?" I asked. He shook his head. "No. But she was panicking about her parents thinking she wasn't classy enough. She said having you there might confuse the narrative. Whatever that means." He rubbed his temples. "After your post, my mom demanded receipts. When I found out the contracts were in your name, let's just say it didn't go well." "So where do you two stand?" I asked. I told her I need time. He paused. "Emma, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of this." "Apology accepted," I said simply. "Just make sure she learns something from it." When I left the cafe, the air felt lighter. Not because I forgave her, but because the truth was out. Over the next week, the fallout kept spreading. The catering company posted on social media that they were still awaiting payment. Guests who'd been at the party started whispering that Olivia had lied about handling everything. Daniel's mother called mine, demanding to know why their family had been misled. Meanwhile, Olivia stayed quiet online, something I'd never seen before. The girl who once posted hourly updates suddenly vanished. Until one afternoon, she appeared at my door. Her makeup was gone, her hair a tangled mess. She looked smaller somehow. "Emma," she said, voice cracking, "please. You have to help me." I leaned on the doorframe. "Help you? After you embarrassed me in front of hundreds of people?" Tears filled her eyes. "Daniel's family won't talk to me. Everyone's calling me a liar. I know I messed up, but I panicked. I thought if I could control the guest list, his parents would take me seriously." "So you erased me?" "I didn't think it through," she whispered. "You've always been the strong one. I knew you'd forgive me." "That's the problem," I said. "You counted on me forgiving you." She wiped her cheeks. "Please, at least tell people you got your money back. They think I stole it." I tilted my head. "Didn't you?" Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. I sighed. "I won't lie for you, Liv. You wanted control, now you can live with the consequences." I started to close the door, but she grabbed it. "You're really enjoying this, aren't you?" I met her gaze. "No. But I am finally done being your safety net." When the door clicked shut, it felt final. For a while, I thought that was the end. But Olivia wasn't done. A week later, I got a notification. She'd posted a long apology video online, crocodile tears and all. She painted herself as a victim of miscommunication, claiming the event planners had mixed up names. She even hinted that I'd overreacted. My phone buzzed non-stop, friends sending clips, asking if I'd seen it. I watched the whole performance, jaw tight. She ended it with, "I love my sister, and I hope one day she'll forgive me." I didn't respond publicly. Instead, I sent the video to the same local blog that had covered her lavish engagement party. Along with it, I attached all the receipts, contracts under my name, bank transfers, emails from the venue manager. The journalist replied within an hour, "Thank you, Emma. We'll verify and update our story." The next morning, a new headline spread across social media: influencer couple's engagement party funded by sister they banned at the door. Olivia's apology backfired spectacularly. Comment sections lit up with fury. People dug up her old posts flaunting her spending and compared them with the receipts I'd shared. The backlash was brutal. Brands unfollowed her, sponsorship deals vanished overnight. For once, I didn't feel guilty. Actions have consequences, and she'd written this script herself. After that article went live, my phone didn't stop buzzing. Old classmates I hadn't spoken to in years were texting, some to say they always knew Olivia was fake, others to ask for the real story. But the one message that stood out came from my cousin Leah: "You've got the whole internet on your side. Don't back down now." For once, I wasn't planning to. The story spread faster than I could process. Every gossip page picked it up. Commentators were dissecting the screenshots like detectives, debating whether Olivia's tears were real or staged. I stayed quiet, not because I didn't have more to say, but because silence made the truth louder. Then Daniel reached out again. "She's losing sponsors," he said bluntly over the phone. "Her management dropped her this morning." I didn't say anything. I just listened to the sound of him exhaling, long and shaky. "She's blaming me too. Said I should have stopped you." "Emma, I'm sorry for how this turned out." "Don't be," I replied. "It turned out exactly the way it should have." He hesitated. "You know, her family still thinks you'll come around. That you'll forgive her eventually." I laughed softly. "They don't understand something, Daniel. Forgiveness doesn't mean access. She lost that." He went quiet for a moment. "You're stronger than any of them know." When I hung up, I realized how calm I felt. No adrenaline, no rage, just peace. But peace doesn't last long when your sister's desperation starts boiling over. 3 days later, I woke up to a notification that she'd posted again. This time, it wasn't an apology. It was a full-blown attack. She called me bitter, accused me of trying to ruin her career out of jealousy. She even shared private family photos, twisting every story into a narrative where she was the saint and I was the villain. The comments were viciously divided now, half defending me, half blindly supporting her. But I didn't panic. Instead, I went for precision. That afternoon, I emailed a well-known podcast that covered influencer scandals. I'd seen them expose liars before, professionally, calmly, with receipts. They replied the next morning, "We'd love to have you on. Anonymous if you prefer." I agreed, on one condition: they would play the audio clips I provided. A week before the party, Olivia had left several voice notes bragging to her friend about how she'd control the guest list and make me watch from the sidelines. I'd saved them, not because I planned revenge at the time, but because something in me knew I'd need proof someday. The podcast went live 2 days later. Within hours, it hit trending. People heard her own voice mocking me, calling me the backup sister. The comments flipped instantly. Sponsors publicly stated they were cutting all ties. Her follower count plummeted. Olivia tried to recover by posting another tearful clip, saying, "I was just venting privately, everyone says stupid things." But it was too late. The internet had decided. And for the first time, I wasn't the one left explaining or defending myself. That weekend, I got another visit, this time from Dad. He'd always been quieter than Mom in family conflicts, but now he looked genuinely ashamed. "Emma," he said softly, sitting across from me, "we failed you. We let your sister walk over you for too long." I swallowed hard. "You didn't fail me, Dad. You just didn't see it. She made sure you didn't." He nodded, rubbing his eyes. "I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself, even if it's messy." That meant more than I expected. For years, I'd wanted him to see me, not as Olivia's backup act, but as someone strong in my own right. Later that night, I sat at my desk scrolling through all the chaos. Olivia had gone completely offline. The influencer who once curated every second of her life was now radio silent. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I felt something quieter, satisfaction mixed with a strange sadness. Because no matter how justified my revenge was, this was still my sister. Then, one last twist. The event company reached out. They were suing Olivia for breach of contract. Since my name was on the paperwork, they needed my statement. I gave it, detailing every transaction. The court filings became public record. That sealed her reputation's coffin. A few days later, Olivia sent me one final text. "You win. Are you happy now?" I stared at it for a while, then typed back, "No, I'm just free." I deleted her number after that. Weeks passed. The noise died down. My social feeds quieted, replaced by messages from women who'd gone through similar family betrayals. Some said my story gave them courage to set boundaries. That, more than anything, made the entire ordeal worth it. One night, as I was getting ready for bed, I found the old invitation I'd designed for the party, the one that was supposed to include my name. I smiled, folded it neatly, and dropped it in the trash. That chapter was over. And for the first time in my life, so was the cycle of letting her win. A month later, my life felt quiet. Not the kind of quiet that comes after loss, but the kind that feels earned. I'd started focusing on work again, catching up on projects that had been collecting dust while my family drama played out online. My evenings weren't filled with anxiety anymore. For the first time in years, I could breathe without wondering what new chaos my sister might cause next. Then one morning, an unfamiliar number called. Against my better judgment, I picked up. "Emma?" The voice was hoarse but familiar. It was Olivia. "What do you want?" I asked, keeping my tone even. "I'm moving back home," she said quietly. "Daniel's gone. His family doesn't want anything to do with me. I don't have anyone else." I let the silence hang for a moment. Part of me wanted to feel pity, but another part remembered the security guards blocking me from entering a party I'd paid for. "I hope you find peace, Liv," I said softly. "But I'm not your safety net anymore." She didn't argue. She just whispered, "I know," before hanging up. After that, she disappeared from my life completely. People sometimes ask if I regret what I did, if exposing her publicly was too far. The truth is, I didn't destroy her. She did that herself. All I did was stop protecting her from the consequences. And in a strange way, that became my real revenge, not humiliating her, not making headlines, but finally cutting the cord that kept me tied to her toxicity. The next few months felt like detoxing from years of guilt. I started journaling again, rebuilding my relationships with people I'd pushed away while trying to keep peace in my family. My therapist once told me, sometimes the person you save at the end of a toxic story is yourself. I didn't understand it then. Now I do. Mom tried a few times to reunite us for holidays, but I said no every time. "You can love her," I told Mom. "I just can't be around her." Boundaries, I learned, aren't punishments, they're protection. And the more I protected my peace, the more my life started blooming again. One night, I went to a charity gala downtown for work. I was nervous, half expecting whispers or stares because of the story that had gone viral months before. Instead, people approached me kindly, telling me they admired how I handled everything. One woman said, "That story helped me walk away from my own sister's drama." That's when I realized something: revenge stories aren't always about payback. Sometimes, the most powerful revenge is simply becoming untouchable. I stopped letting the past define me. I moved into a new apartment, a small one, cozy, filled with things that were entirely mine. No shared spaces, no reminders of old wounds. Just quiet, sunlight, and peace. Every once in a while, I'd get curious and check her old social media. It was still blank, no new posts, no updates. The girl who once lived for attention had learned what silence felt like. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just closed the app and went back to my life. One Sunday afternoon, as I walked through a local park, I saw a little family having a picnic. The mom laughed as her daughter tried to chase a balloon. For a second, I thought of Olivia and me as kids, before the jealousy, before the comparisons. We'd been inseparable once. And that memory didn't hurt anymore, it just existed, like an old scar that no longer burned. It's funny how pain changes shape. At first, it felt like fire. Then it felt like ice. Now, it just feels like distance, calm, necessary distance. I know people love to call what I did revenge. And maybe it was, in the beginning. But now, when I think about it, it feels more like a lesson, for both of us. She learned that image can't replace integrity. I learned that peace can't exist without boundaries. And maybe that's what justice looks like in real life. So when people comment on that viral post, still saying, "You went too far," I don't argue. Because if they'd lived my story, the years of being invisible, of funding her dreams while being treated like a nuisance, they'd understand. That night at the engagement party, when she told security I wasn't allowed in, something in me broke. But in that same moment, something else woke up, the part of me that refused to be stepped on anymore. And honestly, I'm grateful she did it. Because if she hadn't, I might still be the version of me that kept paying for everyone else's comfort. Now, I only invest in things that give back peace. Looking back, I don't regret how it ended. My sister lost her image, but I found my freedom. Sometimes revenge isn't about making someone suffer, it's about reclaiming your voice after they've silenced it for too long. I used to think love meant forgiveness at any cost. Now I know it means respecting yourself enough to walk away when someone crosses the line. That night outside the party, she thought she'd shut me out. But really, she opened the door to the best chapter of my life, one where I finally chose me.